Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Diving US Navy SEALs Automatic. You can see this one of 1500 special series Navy SEALs inspired dive watch on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with accessories included, high resolution images, and of course complete pricing details for this Navy SEALs dive automatic. Now, that's the card in the upper right hand corner. Click it and go straight to the listing. The watch itself is the most wearable and versatile of the Navy SEALs family that debuted within the Master Compressor Diving range back at SIHH 2009. This model came 1 year later. By JLC's own claim, it was a special offering produced at the request of the Navy SEALs. Now, whether or not that is actually true, it's a great backstory, and it's certainly indisputable that this watch is the most wearable, reasonably sized, and thus aesthetically versatile of the Navy SEALs family. Now, you can see 42 millimeters across the round of the case is not inclusive of the unique compressor crown and winglet. You'll also note that the watch, although it looks thick, actually isn't. 13 millimeters thick means this one's only 1 millimeter thicker than a Rolex Submariner, so you can wear it quite easily with a dress cuff or a tight sleeve. While you might want to put it on some sort of a leather strap for that application, however, the watch is in its best configuration here. Purchase it with the rubber-wrapped, fully sizable double deployant clasp metal bracelet, and then put it on whatever you want, because buying this bracelet separately is ruinously expensive. You get great value purchasing it with the watch, and again, great value when you decide to sell. There are two ways to measure this watch across the wrist. 50 millimeters is the distance from polished lug to polished lug, so if you're going to wear it on a textile of some kind or a NATO strap, that's the operative measurement across the wrist. But since we are wearing it on a bracelet, you could see that there is a little bit of rigid outcropping beyond the end of the lugs on both sides, so the true distance across the wrist in this configuration is 55 millimeters. Quite robust. Now, I mentioned that this is the bracelet. This is the one to have. In terms of fit, feel, specification, and durability, this is top of the line in JLC's dive watch family. When I talked about it being fully sizable, I mean every individual link on both sides is individually removable, so you can get a very precise sizing even for smaller wrists. All of the links are beautifully rubber wrapped, and as these bracelets have been around for going on 13 years, we know for a fact that they stand the test of time in terms of aesthetic, wear, the condition of the rubber after repeated impacts with abrasive surfaces and skin oils. They stand up and they look great over time, actually holding their definition and finish far better than finished metal ever would. And on the underside, you'll note broad channels to allow moisture and sweat to escape the wrist on hot days, and also to avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. The clasp is a spectacular piece, beautifully made and beautifully finished. It features 4 individual triggers, so you do have to positively release this watch when it's on the wrist. It can't accidentally pop open, and each side has its own incremental micro adjust, kind of like a small version of Rolex's Easy Link tool-free adjustment. A total of 5 millimeters of extra length is available when you combine both sides with the individual micro adjusts. It is a very comfortable and very handsome bracelet, and like I said, all of the value is in buying it with the watch, putting it on a strap if you prefer, and just keeping that bracelet in your back pocket for a rainy day. Now, the watch is beautifully finished. True high horology dive watches are fairly rare. We've seen them from Girard-Perregaux in the Hawk family. We've seen them from Audemars Piguet in the Royal Oak Offshore Diver and Scuba families. And of course, we've seen them from Blancpain in the large 50 Fathoms family. But in an industry where dive watches are ubiquitous, the relative scarcity of true high horology divers, hardcore divers, extreme divers, no holds barred tool watches is really quite exceptional and puts this watch in rarefied company. Now, the bezel, like the case, is steel, and the case is beautifully finished. You can see both bezel and case feature polished highlights. I love the tapered polished bevel along the sides of the lugs, superfluous but gorgeous, speaking to the hand finish lavished on this case, with a gorgeous linear striation of the satin grain across the case band and vertical on the edge of each lug. This was a thoughtfully finished watch. Now, the bezel features a ceramic insert, so essentially a scratch resistant to sapphire crystal. If you're not one to chip or scratch a sapphire crystal, you're not going to leave any enduring marks on this ceramic insert. Of course, it is luminescent with the little pip at 12 o'clock, so you can line it up with the large Calypso style index minute hand and set up a impromptu 0 to 60 timing for diving, sure, but but also for fish tacos on the grill, as I am wont to say. The watch has a matte black dial with raised white printing on all indices and numerals, so it's easy to read in direct light, yes, but also in low and no light, and the lume on this watch is exceptional. You'll also note truth in labeling for once. 300 meters denoted as 984 feet, not 1,000. JLC overlooks no detail. And the compressor crown system is unique in that 1/2 turn unlocks it, 1/2 turn locks it. You get the same benefits as a crown guard with the winglets themselves, and it's very easy to manipulate this crown for setting and for winding when your hands are sweaty or gloved. So that's the advantage of the compressor crown system. And you'll note on the case back the warfare device emblem of the U.S. Navy SEALs and the individual numbering of this watch within its series of 1500. It features a Jaeger-LeCoultre caliber 899 automatic, unidirectional winding, and free sprung. It is very efficient in winding to its 43-hour power reserve, and thanks to the free sprung balance, exceptionally rugged. Uses ceramic rotor bearings for high efficiency, and it also features hacking seconds, so pull the crown, stop the balance, stop the seconds hand so you can synchronize to a dive timer, and it features a quick set for the date so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. And at 42 millimeters, this is the most versatile and wearable member of the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor Diving U.S. Navy SEALs series. Now discontinued, all of these watches are considered to be collector's items by the Jaeger-LeCoultre cognoscenti. You can own this one on our website.